Ferrari said nothing. Not a word to the press, not a hint on social media, not a single engineer speaking on background. Maranello went quiet through the summer shutdown and stayed quiet when the factories reopened on August 16th. But the Italian press did not stay quiet. Paolo Filicetti of La Gazzetta dello Sport, the technical writer who has been closer to Ferrari's real development story than almost anyone outside Maranello this season, put it in print. Lewis Hamilton arrives at Zandvoort this week with a new chassis, a new floor, a rebuilt platform for the SF26 that did not exist 3 weeks ago, that was not on the original build schedule, and that Ferrari's engineers approved, designed and manufactured in the narrow window between the Hungarian Grand Prix and the mandatory summer shutdown. 3 weeks, one data comparison between two very different circuits, one decision that changed the entire opening move of Ferrari's second-half plan. The floor that arrives at Zandvoort this weekend is a direct evolution of the specification that debuted at Barcelona in Round 7, the same weekend Hamilton took his first ever win in Ferrari red, the same weekend that ended Mercedes' assumption that this championship was already settled. That detail is worth sitting with for a moment. Ferrari is not bringing a new idea to Zandvoort. They are bringing a sharper version of the idea that already beat Mercedes once, and they built it in secret, under time pressure, at a circuit that is perfectly suited to everything this car does best. Subscribe, because this is where the second half actually begins. Put two race weekends side by side that have almost nothing in common, and you get something Ferrari's engineers found invaluable. The Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring, short, technical, full of elevation changes, punishing on rear tyre thermals in a way that exposed the SF26's sensitivity to track temperature. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone, fast, flowing, aerodynamically demanding in a completely different way, cool enough for the rear tyres to stay in range, fast enough for Hamilton to take sprint pole and Leclerc to win. Two circuits at opposite ends of what a Formula One car is asked to do. One dataset that told Ferrari something specific about where their flaw was leaving performance behind. The analysis pointed at the same area from two different angles. At the Red Bull Ring, the flaw was working in conditions that pushed it beyond its optimal operating window. High track temperatures, rear tyre thermal stress, the car struggling to maintain the consistent corner exit behavior that the Barcelona package had suggested should be available. At Silverstone, the same flaw in cooler conditions produced the opposite result. Front row, race win, speed trap advantage. The gap between those two performances is not a driver gap or a setup gap. It is a floor operating window gap. A floor that works beautifully when conditions cooperate and degrades in performance when they push it beyond its range is a floor whose concept is right, but whose window is too narrow. That insight, pulled from a comparison between Austria and Silverstone, is what drove Ferrari to approve a new floor that had not been in the development program. Scuderia fans confirmed the decision represented a change from Ferrari's earlier plans. The new floor was not part of the immediate program, but the contrasting behavior prompted Maranello to approve the project quickly enough for the parts to be manufactured before the mandatory summer shutdown. The factory closed on August 3rd. The floor was signed off before the doors shut. When work resumed on August 16th, the parts were already built. That timeline, from insight to approval to production in days rather than weeks, tells you something about how Ferrari's engineering culture has changed under Loic Serra. A year ago, Ferrari would have scheduled this floor for the next major update window. In 2026, they built it over a shutdown. The new floor Hamilton brings to Zandvoort is a direct evolution of the Barcelona specification, which means it starts from the concept that already produced Ferrari's best result of the season, rather than introducing a new aerodynamic philosophy. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, the primary objective is to increase the downforce generated by the SF26's floor. But Ferrari needs more than headline downforce numbers. Scuderia fans' technical analysis confirms the team is looking for a package that gives Hamilton and Leclerc more predictable balance and allows them to exploit available performance consistently over both qualifying laps and longer race stints. That word, consistently, is the one that matters. The SF26 in its current specification qualifies brilliantly and races inconsistently. The floor arriving at Zandvoort is specifically designed to narrow the gap between those two things: more aerodynamic operating window, less sensitivity to the track temperature conditions that separated Austria from Silverstone. A car that is more of the same car at lap 40 as it was at lap 4. Zandvoort is almost perfectly chosen to validate this kind of upgrade. The circuit's banking at the Hugenholzbocht and the final Arie Luijendijk corner loads the car in sustained lateral acceleration that rewards aerodynamic balance and mechanical consistency rather than peak numbers. The North Sea wind creates grip conditions that change between morning and afternoon, exactly the kind of variable that exposes an upgrade with a narrow operating window. A floor that works at Zandvoort in those conditions works because its range is genuinely wider, not because the circuit happened to align with its sweet spot. There is one complication that makes the validation harder and the result more important simultaneously. This is a sprint weekend. 1 hour of free practice before sprint qualifying. Ferrari gets 60 minutes to understand how the new floor behaves in real conditions before the first session that matters for points. That is not enough time to fully diagnose unexpected behavior. It is barely enough time to confirm the floor is working as the simulation predicted. But the data from that single hour and the sprint qualifying lap times that follow it will tell Ferrari more about whether the Austria Silverstone insight was correct than any amount of wind tunnel time could. And there is a detail that makes the pressure on this particular floor higher than any Ferrari upgrade this season. This is the last Dutch Grand Prix. Zandvoort's deal with Formula One expires after Sunday's checkered flag. If the floor does not correlate with the simulation here, Ferrari cannot return to the same circuit next year with a refined version. The data they collect at Zandvoort this weekend is the only Zandvoort data they will ever have for this floor concept. The Zandvoort floor is move 1 of 3. Ferrari's plan for the second half runs in sequence: aerodynamics first, then power, then traction, and each step is designed to build on what the previous one established. Move 2 arrives at Monza. The ADUO2 engine upgrade, the second and final of Ferrari's 2 permitted development tokens under the FIA's benchmarking system, targets approximately 15 horsepower from a revised turbocharger. Ferrari was measured at least 4% behind the Red Bull benchmark, earning 2 tokens. The first went to Austria. The second goes to Monza. F1 Fansite reports the revised power unit features a turbine with a larger diameter impeller, aimed primarily at improving combustion performance at the top end of the rev range where straight-line speed is determined. 15 horsepower at a circuit where 80% of the lap is full throttle translates to approximately 0.2 per lap, enough to transform Monza from Ferrari's most exposed venue into a circuit where Hamilton and Leclerc can fight for pole position rather than manage damage. Move 3 arrives in Austin. Rear traction, the final piece, the upgrade that completes the SF26 from exceptional chassis into complete car. Then something happened this weekend that nobody had included in the plan. Mercedes announced they are shelving their own Macarena-style wing concept for the remainder of the 2026 season. The decision was confirmed on August 17th. The reason relates to reliability concerns, the same concept that has sent Verstappen into the gravel twice this season. For Ferrari, whose Macarena architecture is the most refined and reliable version on the grid, the news means one less competitive variable to plan around at Zandvoort and beyond. Hamilton arrives at the final Dutch Grand Prix in a new chassis, on a circuit that suits the SF26 better than almost any other on the remaining calendar, in a situation where the team ahead of him is voluntarily removing one of its performance tools. 50 points is a real gap, but the shape of the gap looks different when you understand what is sitting in the garage at Zandvoort this weekend. Ferrari said nothing. They let the floor speak for them. An upgrade that was not in the plan 3 weeks ago, built in the days before a mandatory shutdown, arrives at the last Dutch Grand Prix carrying everything Ferrari learned from the gap between Austria and Silverstone. Hamilton gets a new chassis at the circuit he needs most. A sprint weekend gives Ferrari 1 hour to find out if the simulation was right. And Mercedes, the team that has won 8 of 11 races, is walking into Zandvoort without a performance tool they had at the last race. 50 points, 12 races. A flaw that should not exist yet sitting in the garage. That is where this championship stands, as the lights go out on Thursday afternoon.